show with me. We have signed contracts and everything. There's been a release signed. Yes. And he's ready to show you all his cuteness. He picked out his outfit by himself and wanted to really let those little rolls on the arms pop. And we're not gonna cry, right? We're not gonna cry, because it's just gonna be fun. So we've had a great trip so far. We left Monday, Minnesota, and took 3 days to drive over here to Portland. And we spent the last couple of nights at a cabin. Hey, how you doing? Say hi to all the folks. Yeah, he sees his mommy over there. It is his nap time already, so we weren't sure how this is gonna work. Hey, Yoey. Hi. No, not fun? Do you want to go for a little bit and maybe come back? See? Yeah, we've been like for half an hour. He's been good. But, of course, when it's nap time, it's nap time. You don't ask. You good now? Huh? No? Okay, we'll check back later. So it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. And of course, I'm away from my bar and all my stash of liquors. So I thought it'd be very appropriate to just drink some Oregon wine today. So this was my lunch, accompanying my lunch today, which is an Oregon Rosé, which is delicious. Actually, one of my favorites when I buy rosé is from very close to here. So this one was something that my son Otley picked out and brought to the cabin. So we spent the last couple of days in a cabin in the Mount Hood area, so in the Mount Hood forest, and it was just glorious. We had no cell service, so that was beautiful. We had Wi-Fi, but you know, that just made you really kind of disconnect and hang out together and spend some time outside. But cheers, everybody. Have a happy Friday and a great weekend ahead. It's very, very good. So we did a little hiking yesterday morning, and I have to say, of course, here we're in the woods and forest, and we read all these warnings that there are mountain lions and bears and all kinds of creatures, coyotes that we have to be aware of everywhere. And we're like, yeah, sure. We went on a hike it was along the Sandy River, so it was beautiful. And then on the way back, I decided that Kobe needed a little bit of more of a workout, so I was gonna kind of jog back on the trail back towards the cabin. And I stopped to take a photo of, it was this beautiful greenery, and I just stopped to take photos of something. And then I hear rustling behind me, and I knew Kobe was on the other side of me, so I'm like, what is that? Is that a deer? I was gonna turn around and hoping to catch a deer. But as I turn around, there's even more rustling, and I just see this big brown hump running away. So I had a little bear encounter. Freaked me out a little bit, but he was more scared of me than I, hopefully it wasn't him. But I ran back and decided that I was not going to venture out by myself after that one. So that was good, fun. So I saw my first black bear, and actually I saw his behind, so I really didn't see his face. But that was exciting, and made it so that Mr. Honey Producer was not going to join us on the next hike. He was just going to stay back. Why is that?
No comment.
Do we have people joining us? Do you have any questions?
There's people joining us, but I can't see it. It's too small.
It's too small. He doesn't have his glasses. Sam may have to read some questions. It was a beautiful drive, I have to say. First time I really driven through the whole state of Montana, of course, and in through northern Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, and then into Washington, and finally into Portland, into Oregon. Gorgeous places that we passed, and so really enjoyed it. Especially our second night, we stayed in western Montana at a beautiful campsite, and so far RV life is good stuff. We're staying in Portland tonight and going to go catch some takeout food, some different stuff, some unique things that we can only get in Portland, which is awesome. And then tomorrow we're going to head out to the Oregon coast and spend a couple of nights out there with everybody and kind of get a lot of family time in before we start heading back. But really enjoying myself, and Johan is enjoying himself, right? You're going to come and say hi to everybody again?
Someone wants to know, is that encounter going to inspire a bear quilt?
Might be a bear quilt, who knows? What's that? Yeah. Do you want to show them your quilt?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's your quilt. So this is the little quilt that I made him on the day he was born. Hey! Who's this? Who's that? Yeah, Mommy said too close. Too close. What if you just come join us? Is that gonna be okay? Well, I wanted to show you this because this was a prototype for a pattern that is gonna be new and it's gonna be in the new book. So it's changed a little bit, but this guy is the inspiration behind it because when I got the phone call at 4 a.m. and Sam was in labor, I could not sleep anymore. So I went into my sewing room and this was the outcome. And then by 11 a.m. that same morning, I was on a plane on my way out here. So this is his little quilt. It's been used a lot. I love that. I just made it as a perfect like little square, just 9 blocks. And it's perfect to grab along for their car seat, for the stroller, and you can even carry it yourself, can't you? Yeah, somebody's really tired, really tired. The other one I have on the table is the quilt I made for him before he was born. But so the fabric from that one was leftovers from this one. Look what I have. Look what I have. French fry. Yeah, little bribery. Yeah, I think this is just too much. Pushing beyond my bedtime. But anyways, this one will also be in the new book. So just maybe tweaked a little bit. So this was a prototype done a long time ago. And then he slept with this new one that I just finished, that I showed you last Tipsy. I finished this one, and so he slept with that last couple of nights and enjoyed it, right? Yes, he's so tired. But I thought for a little fun, that I would show you the quilts that now live here. Of course, you make so many quilts throughout the times and give them away. So there's 3 quilts here that I would actually like to show you. I have Strip Plus, and these are my kids. Svana and Lisa, you want to say hi? So this one I designed and made for my oldest Otley as he was graduating with a degree in math and then went on to get a degree in engineering. So the background is all formulas. Have you tested these formulas? Are they accurate?
They're accurate.
They are accurate. He of course had to test them. But this is a strip quilt, so 2.5-inch strips. It's a single pattern, but I loved making it, and when you want to use a background like this that's a little bit wild, so a little bit probably busier than I would normally do, what I recommend doing instead is kind of tone down the colors that you have in all the strips. So I just chose a very controlled colorway for the strips, and that kind of makes the background not so crazy busy. It would be wilder if it was all kinds of colors. All right, and then the next one is, this one is actually from an old book, and it was a book that I wrote for Leisure Arts, and it was called Just Your Style, which now they republished it and it's called Quilts with Style. This is a flannel quilt with a little raw edge, both inverted and raw edge applique on top. So really, a really fun quilt to make. But this I gave to Sam for her graduation, and she's used it a lot. I love it when I see that my quilts get a lot of use. So that's great. Now this one is actually not one of my patterns. This, I think it was a Debbie Caffrey pattern. So I made this when I lived in Iceland. I made this long before I started designing. It was one of my first quilts that I put Minky on the back. And so Otley actually stole it.
Open that again. Right here.
Gotta show the other side first. Yeah, so my oldest, he stole it and took it to college with him. And I never really noticed that it was missing. So not until I visited him at his house in college, and it's like, oh, that's where that went. And he said, yeah, Mom, it's the most comfortable quilt that I could find. So I took it. And then there's one more. I did a pattern called M and W strip. So it's one in the series where I did all the letters. So this is the W version because Otley graduated from UW Wisconsin. So I had to make a W, and of course I did it in the school colors. So that was hanging in your dorm room, wasn't it? Or in your college apartment, and your other apartment in Portland. So very nice. That's a fun quilt to make too. So those are the quilts that live here. Are you seeing any questions? Fawn, do you want to check this for? You can see them.
Saying go Badgers. Love
Go
Wisconsin.
Badgers.
They love everything.
We'll see. We'll try it one more time. No. Nope. Let's sit over here. Let's sit over here. You want to say hi to the people?
Introduce the mama.
So this is Sam, Samantha. She's a teacher. She's a saint. So she's been teaching remotely and having a baby at home here in Portland. I don't know
COVID adventures.
COVID adventures. My son works in engineering, as an engineering job with Benchmade, makes knives, and so you've been able to work partly from home and partly has to go into work, so I don't know how you do it. Yeah, I don't know how you do it, but he's just a joy, happy baby, very happy baby. We're so blessed.
For the kisses.
Oh, that is rough. That's a little rough. So we've been getting a lot of Alma baby time. We love to sing together and read. We read some Icelandic books. And yesterday we were going to read a lot of Icelandic books, and then there was a book that had buttons and truck sounds, and so that one took over. But that was fun. So we're enjoying ourselves, and like I said, we're heading out to the coast tomorrow and get a little Oregon Beach time in. And I'm gonna just soak him up and enjoy it all, and then we have to go whittle our way back to Minneapolis or Minnesota. We haven't quite decided which route to take back because we have an extra day, so we might take a different route. So if you have any suggestions, throw them out there. But really enjoying the Pacific Northwest. Just beautiful, beautiful out here, and of course, the most beautiful of all is Johan. Everybody's behind the camera trying to make him laugh. Uh-oh. There goes the animals on the floor.
They're wondering what patterns are all of these.
All of these. So the two first ones I showed you, they're not patterns yet. They will be in the new book. This one is Lucy that I showed you. And I think I talked about the other ones. The other two of them are single patterns, and one of them is in an older book. But it's fun to see your quilts being used and loved. Yes, used and loved. Yeah, you want some rosé? Not today. Not today. We'll have to wait a few years. I know. But that's gonna be it for me, unless you have some questions. I knew it was gonna be a short one. We just wanted to check in. I'll be posting lots of photos from our cabin life.
There's some of those
Oh,
pants.
these are not the pants that I made. I made the pants I showed you last week. They were a little big, so I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of alterations. But we're gonna figure it out. They weren't too big. I mean, not like super sized. It was just the waist that was a little
Too big on the waist.
Too big on the waist. So there was a little miscommunication transfer on the measurements.
Any quilt shops on the way?
We didn't hit up any quilt shops because we were kind of had a strict timeline, but definitely will take some time on the way back to kind of plan my route out. We ended up being in, when we were in town, it was not opening time, so we were just being safe and being by ourselves and just stopping at. You should turn the camera back. And we So we have a cheer staff trying to make you laugh. Yeah, trying to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Trying to make you okay with not having a nap yet. He's gonna take a good nap. And we're gonna drink some more of this Oregon rosé. No, not for you. Not for you. Well, are you gonna wave at everybody? Tell everybody bye. Thank you all for checking in on us here live. I will be back at home with a Happy Friday next week. No Tipsy Tuesday this coming week. There's lots of cool stuff in the store. Things are working great. Amy and And Adam and Julie are working hard getting everybody's orders out. There have been some products coming in, so they've been cutting and packing some reorders. So if you signed up for those notifications, you will get them and on the new stuff. And then of course, lots new when I get home. They're waiting for me to give them the okays. So yeah, now you're smiling. Yeah, that's your daddy over there. He's the funniest ever.
I accidentally ended it. Oops.
All right. Bye, everybody.